So, ich versuche das jetzt mal aufzunehmen. Lamplight City. Das wird jetzt eine Art Let's Play, denke ich. Eigentlich wird es ja ein kommentiertes Spiel. Mal schauen. Ich versuche das mal mit New Game. Ich bin sehr gespannt. Das war eine Empfehlung und ich hoffe, derjenige kann meinen Geschmack einschätzen. Es ist vertont.
Wake up, sunshine.
Haven't I told you not to call me that?
What's the matter? Have a rough night?
Bit too much Bollingworth ale is all. That stuff really creeps up on you.
Sorry I couldn't join you, but I was long overdue for a quiet night in with Addie.
That's fine. There'll be plenty of other opportunities.
Ist schön
Hell,
vertont.
maybe Adelaide can even join us. It's been ages since she last drank me under the table.
I'm afraid she mostly sticks to tea these days.
Miles,
So wie ich.
what exactly is it we're looking into? I may have dozed off during the briefing.
Wirst du dich aufpassen. You sleep through the briefings? Oder Captain Snelling is going to notice one of these days.
Honestly, Bill, one of these days Snelling's gonna notice.
No, he won't. Why do you think they put him behind a desk? The man couldn't find his own backside with a pair of pliers and a lantern.
Very funny. Anyway, it's a burglary at the Hambrook Flower Shop.
A burglary, eh? How dull. At least we'll have enough time to get a drink afterwards.
You seem awfully certain of that.
I am. In fact, I'd bet the devil my head that we're done within the hour.
Well, the devil's gonna be disappointed that his winnings are so meager.
Tja, wissen, worum es geht, tue ich immer noch nicht, aber wir werden es sehen.
Ah, we've arrived. After you, Bill.
The city of New Britannia, Borough of irgendwas.
Thank you. Keep the change.
Die Animationen sind schon mal echt schön.
And so, our night of excitement begins.
You, more than anyone else, should know that there's rarely a dull night in Chumley.
I have a feeling tonight will be the exception. Until we get to the pub, that is.
Keep your mind on the case, Bill. Now let's get a move on.
Links klicken, um mit Objekten zu interagieren. Okay.
Come on, Bill.
Wen steuere ich
Charming
denn?
little place, isn't it?
Charming, but empty. We need to find the owner.
Always so to the point, Fordham. If ever there was a better time to stop and smell the flowers.
I think I'll leave that to you, Bill.
With my allergies? Hardly.
Not too many left. Seems business isn't so bad around here.
Well, you know what they say. There are only three certainties in life. Death, taxes, and people taking advantage of sales.
Was bedeutet denn Center
Not too many
Display?
left. Seems
Well, death.
the staircase isn't very well lit.
I'll go first. That way you can catch me if I fall.
We should probably ask for permission before heading up there.
Erstmal klingeln.
Be right there. Oh, hello, gentlemen. I must say you caught me by surprise. I was preparing to close soon. May I help you find anything? The flowers in the center display are half price this week, and I have a special on chrysanthemums today. Or perhaps a custom bouquet for the special ladies in your lives?
I have no need myself, but maybe Adelaide would appreciate a little something. Eh, Miles? Those peonies in the corner look nice.
I'm afraid we're not here as customers tonight, ma'am. We'd like to have a word with the proprietor. Is he in?
I see. I am Cecilia Handbook, and this is my shop. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Detective Miles Fordham, and this is my partner, William Legere. We received a report of a burglary at your store.
A report? From whom? I never contacted the police before, and I didn't this time, either.
It was made anonymously. But are you saying this isn't the first time it's happened?
Correct. It's happened 3 times. But considering the police hardly care about the daily muggings and vandalisms around here, I didn't think they would be interested in something so trivial.
Well, we're here now, and we'll do all we can to help you.
We'll have to see
Ich
about
bin
that.
also anscheinend ein
If you wouldn't
Polizist.
mind, Mrs. Hanbrook, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Very well, Detective.
Could you give me the details concerning the burglaries?
About 3 weeks ago on Monday,
Sie sieht
I
ja
noticed that my
wundervoll
order
aus.
of Easter lilies was missing. At first, I thought nothing of it. Sometimes certain types of flowers are unavailable or arrive in poor condition. These things happen. Then 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, it happened again. But this time, I noticed something rather odd.
Go on.
When I opened the shop, there were 6 crowns and 10 shillings on the counter. That's exactly the cost of 2 orders of lilies. Last Friday, it happened yet again. The lilies were missing, and there was payment for 1 order on the counter. I
Selbstbedienung war da
believe
wohl
that
noch nicht
someone
erfunden.
has been breaking into my shop after hours, taking the lilies, and leaving money behind.
How unusual. Have you been in business long?
Yes, I opened this shop 30 years ago, along with my late husband, David. But the past 10 years, I've been running things on my own.
Don't you feel unsafe being
Eine
here by
Witwerin.
yourself so late into the night?
Detective, when you've lived in this part of town as long as I have, it takes quite a lot to scare you.
Have you found any evidence of a break-in?
No, the front door is always locked. My assistant Trevor and I are the only ones with the key.
Are there any other points of
Trevor
access
ist
to the building?
verdächtig.
The upstairs windows, I suppose, but I make sure to keep them locked, and neither of them have been broken.
Would you allow us to have a look upstairs?
Is that really necessary? I was just about to close up the shop.
It won't take but a moment.
Fine, I suppose you may, but please, don't dally too long.
Oh, ich habe hier dieses Verbrechen, das ich aufgeklärt haben möchte, aber bitte lasst euch keine Zeit.
Have you noticed any suspicious characters lurking around?
Detective Fordham, this is Chumley. You can't throw a stone
This is
without hitting
was
a
bitte?
suspicious character. And if you've noticed my window, you'd be aware that stones get thrown around quite a bit in this neighborhood. If you're looking for trouble, you're far more likely to find it out there than in here.
I meant if you'd seen anyone out of the ordinary near your shop.
Only the 2 men from the police who entered it tonight. That is most definitely out of the ordinary.
You mentioned your assistant has the other shop key. What can you tell me about him?
His name is Trevor Hastings, and he has been working for me for the past 10 years.
Do you trust him?
Implicitly. I've known him for ages, and he has been my full-time assistant since shortly after my husband died. You're not suggesting
Könnte
he
die
had
Blumen
anything to
auch
do with
einfach
this, are you?
kaufen,
No,
ohne
no. I
einbrechen
would
zu
like to speak
müssen.
with him, though. Where might I find him?
It's Friday, so he should be on his way back from the docks right now. He'll be bringing
Aber
my
man
flower
könnte den
order
Schlüssel
within the
weitergeben.
hour.
Good. We'll meet him here then. If that's all right with you.
I suppose I don't really have much of a choice, do I?
So this burglar has been paying for the stolen goods?
That would appear to be the case, yes. I really don't think this could even be considered a crime. That's one of the reasons I
Hat sie
didn't bother
recht.
reporting it to the police.
And the other reasons?
Oh, I think I've already made those quite clear, Detective.
I think that's all the information I need for now.
All right, Detective.
See you later, my lady. Current case. Honor among thieves. The Hanbrook flower shop has been burglarized. Will the burglar return, or is this investigation just a formality? Find a point of entry upstairs, wait for Trevor Hastings, and speak to him. Viele Verdächtige habe ich. Das ist aber schön gemacht. Ein Zimmer.
Interesting choice of decor in here.
Perhaps it wasn't always used as a storeroom, although I can understand why it would have been converted.
Yeah, it is rather drafty in here.
Kann ich da eigentlich auch speichern? 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 Hallo? Aha. Ich heiße, ist klar. Das. Okay, das ist okay, das ist okay. Jo. Dann fangen wir mal an.
A young lady, perhaps a relation of Mrs. Hanbrook?
I can see the resemblance. Sort of.
Bildet sie sich ein, ja.
I've seen this type of device before. It's a special container for growing plants. Specific temperature and water conditions can be adjusted. Seems to be empty right now, though. And judging by the dust, it hasn't been used in a long time, if ever.
It seems Mrs. Hanbrook isn't too fond of steam tech, or just doesn't understand it.
No shit, Sherlock. Den Satz wollte ich nur mal sagen.
Seems to be the broken pot storage area.
Why not just throw them away, I wonder?
It's likely they're going to be repaired. I noticed some faint cracks in some of the pots downstairs.
Geschäft läuft wohl nicht so gut.
Unmarked, but if the smell is anything to go by, this is where the flowers are stored when delivered.
I'll keep my distance then.
I don't think this window would serve as a viable means of entry.
It's a nice view, though. You can hardly see the vomit and manure piles on the street from up here.
Der Typ hat, nennen wir es mal Humor.
This provides a means of escape from the top floor, or access to this window from the ground. The window latch, securely locked. Interesting. There's a gap between the window and the frame here. No wonder it's so drafty in this room. I wonder.
What are you thinking, Fordham?
That it's time for an experiment. I'm going to need a tool, however. Something long and thin should do the trick.
Shouldn't be too hard to find something like that around here.
Lang und dünn.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
When do you suppose this contraption was last serviced?
Hard to say. Definitely not recently, if the dust buildup is any indication. A pastoral landscape. Definitely nowhere near here.
I've never much understood art, but it would be nice to see a place like that in person. Thinking about life's great mysteries again, are you?
Bill?
What's going on, Miles?
Aha.
I've heard of honor among thieves. Have you ever known a thief to pay for stolen goods?
Perhaps conducting normal business is just too boring for him. Do you think he might be doing it for the thrill?
There could be any number of reasons. The best way to find out is to catch the culprit and ask him ourselves.
Ach. Chamandali.
You ever miss living out here, Bill?
About as much as you missed stepping in that pile of horseshit last week.
I was distracted by that story you were telling me about your sister. How's she doing out west, anyway?
Well, she's not in the chum, so fantastic. Living here was about as fun as wearing a vest made of meat to a
Hat
dogfight.
ja eine hohe Meinung von
Glad
dieser
we both
Stadt.
managed to get out. Oh, and by the way, Miles, you didn't do such a great job of cleaning your shoes.
That would explain all the funny looks I've been getting. Still feeling rough, Bill?
Yes, but I'll feel better once this case is finished and we can go down to the Angel for a pint or four.
Hair of the dog?
No better medicine.
Was?
When's the last time you took any time off?
That's a good question. What year is this again?
I think we've both been working a bit too much lately. Addie's been wanting to go visit her mother in Dixie. Maybe we can all go.
That
Dixie.
sounds nice, but I wouldn't want to be a third wheel on a visit to your in-laws. Unless... Would Adelaide's brother be there by any chance?
You're incorrigible, Bill.
It's one of my finer qualities.
What's your impression of dear old Mrs. Hanbrook?
I like her. Good old-fashioned, tough-as-nails Chumley woman. Reminds me of my mother.
Your mother was never quite so
Chumley.
stubborn. Why do you suppose she's so reluctant to accept our help?
It's a
Chumley.
chum thing, Miles.
Chumley.
You wouldn't understand.
Chum.
The gap in the window upstairs is intriguing.
Ja,
think
ich
it might
brauche
be
immer
the
noch
point
das
of
lange,
entry?
dünne Ding.
Indeed. I just need to find something long and thin to confirm my theory.
Lang
I think you
und
were
dünn.
born with something like that, Miles.
You're disgusting, Bill.
I know.
Er kann meine
That's why I always do
Gedanken
the dirty
lesen.
work.
Let's get back to it.
All right.
Ich muss immer noch das Ding finden. Das Ding. Nein, nicht rausgehen. Hotspot icons will change when interactions are available. Nein. Idiot. Nicht eingehen.
Aha! This hook is exactly what I need.
Aha.
Mrs. Hanbrook, may I borrow this hook for a few minutes? It's crucial to our investigation.
Is that so?
Yes, I promise I'll put it back as soon as I'm done.
Please do, Detective.
These
Schauen, was
prices
sie
are
denn
pretty
so
reasonable.
verlangt.
The place I go in Worcester's clearly robbing me blind.
If you think those are bad, don't go near the flower shops in Lyon.
Frankreich ist ja auch Frankreich.
This is quite the selection. Come over here and take a whiff, Bill.
Sure, if you don't mind me getting snot all over your coat.
Oh, no, not the Myers case all over again. On second thought, you can just stay
Da
over
ist so
there.
viel Backstory, die ich gerne wissen würde.
You seem to be part of the watering system for the flowers.
I haven't seen old piping like this in a while. Seems like someone's reluctant to upgrade.
Ein Shift.
It says private.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
Ich mag seinen Humor. Noch irgendwas? Milady? Ich glaube, wir gehen das Fenster anschauen.
Good. Bill, it's time for our experiment.
Ja, bitte.
And what is this experiment going to be exactly?
Simple. I'm going to see if this hook can get me inside the shop.
Oh, tschüss.
Rather dark out here.
Watch your step then. This experiment of yours isn't worth a broken neck.
I'll be fine. Now then, could you please close and lock the window, Bill?
Ja, ne? Das war Detektivarbeit früher, würde ich sagen. Ich kann nichts tun. Hallo? Ah, ich kann doch was tun.
Well, I'd say this is fairly incontrovertible proof that the building can easily be broken into without arousing suspicion.
Where'd you learn how to do that anyway?
You taught me, remember?
Nah. Are you sure it was me?
Positive. We were a few pints in at the Angel about 5 years ago, and you decided I should learn how to pick locks.
What else have I taught you how to do while drunk?
That would be telling.
Ich würde sagen, hier haben wir Peter und hier haben wir Justus. Wo ist Bob?
The window latch.
So. Irgendwas Neues?
Bill,
What's going on, Miles?
let's get back to it.
All right.
I would imagine that keeping a consistent temperature in here is important for the flowers.
Ich
When do you suppose this
glaube,
contraption was last serviced?
ich sollte nochmal
Hard to
mit
say.
Frau Hanbrook
Definitely not
reden.
recently, if the dust buildup is any indication.
Lass uns mal mit Frau Hanbrook reden. Oder auch nicht.
Trevor.
Evening, Cecilia. I've got the order ready to bring in.
Trevor, these are Detectives Fordham and Leger. They say there's been a report about the burglaries, and they're here investigating.
Warum ist sie so ironisch?
I only did it because I think it's been going on too long. As much as you want to, we can't handle this ourselves.
We can discuss the matter later. In the meantime, the detective would like a word with you.
I'll be needing to bring in the flowers first, if that's all right. Otherwise, some hooligan's likely to run off with them.
Hooligans.
My partner will keep an eye on your flowers. Bill, would you mind?
Ah, the glamour of police work.
Beschwer dich nicht, ist dein Job.
Mr. Hastings, if I could ask you a few
Entschuldigung.
questions.
Go on, then.
What can you tell me about the recent burglaries?
I wish Cecilia had contacted you a lot sooner. She's a damn fine woman. But sometimes I
steht
think
im
she'd
Raum,
rather
Junge.
jump in a rose bush than ask for help. Had to take matters into my own hands. This needs taken care of, and we can't do it on our own, as much as Cecilia would like to. Anyhow, alls I know is someone's been making off with some flowers and leaving money behind. No idea who it could be, how they're getting in, or why they even bother paying. In my day, if you robbed a place, you did it the right way. It's a sad state of affairs when even burglars don't do their jobs correctly.
Do you have much experience with burglary, Mr. Hastings?
Now, I never
Klingt
said
so.
that, detective.
Have you noticed
Klingt aber
anyone
so.
or anything suspicious around here recently?
Nothing but the usual roughnecks, ragamuffins, and drunkards. Like I said,
Was bitte
it's
ist
a
ein
real
Ragamuffin?
mystery.
Ich werde herausfinden, was ein Ragamuffin ist.
Could you walk me through the process of your deliveries?
Of course, there's no great science to it. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons, Cecilia gives me her list of flowers to pick up from the wholesalers. I head over to Gascon around sunset when they get their shipment, and I give them her order. They load up the crate, I pay for it, and then I lug it back here.
How long does that take?
Between moving the crate and getting it across the river on the ferry, a couple of hours. Usually the store's closed by then, so I use my key to get in and leave the crate inside for
Ich mag
Cecilia
seinen
to open in the
Akzent.
morning. That's all there is to it. Told you it wasn't very complicated.
Do you ever leave the crate unattended during that time?
No, sir. Never more than a minute. I may be old, but I got good eyes. I'd see if there were anything amiss. Besides that, I check to make sure the crate is still sealed when I drop it off. I'm not about to let Cecilia down by being careless.
How long have you been working for Mrs. Hanbrook?
Been about 10 years now, I reckon. I used to help with deliveries now and then when it was her and David, her husband. But after he passed, she offered to make me her assistant. Unfortunate way to get it, but I needed the work. Used to be I had a job at one of the airship yards, but they let me go after I was injured by one of those newfangled steam machines. So the offer came at a good time. Besides that, Cecilia needed looking after, even though she'd never admit it. If I'm being honest, we're both getting a bit long in the tooth.
Ich würde sagen 18.
Not sure how much
Jahrhundert.
longer we'll be keeping this up, but as long as I'm upright and breathing, I'll be bringing these crates
19.
along,
vielleicht.
even if it is murder on my back.
I admire your work ethic.
I've got a job to do. Not enough people these days seem to respect that.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Hastings. I'll let you get back to work.
Appreciate it, Detective. If you don't mind, Detective, I still need to check the crate before I bring it in.
Of course. Thank you again for your help.
Tschüss. Hallöchen.
Learn anything?
Possibly. I may have an idea.
Ah, you're being cryptic. That's always a good sign.
Justus, sag
But
ich
if
doch.
you've got a plan, let's talk about it.
Nö, jetzt nicht. Jetzt speichere ich das Spiel. Und beende das an dieser Stelle. Danke fürs Zuhören. Das war's von mir. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.